Under the Arctic ice, something else is swimming. Join me as we dive into the icy waters of Greenland to uncover the truth about the longest living vertebrate on Earth. Something that beats its heart only 6 times per minute. Welcome to the story of Somniosis microcephalus, the Greenland shark, the chronophage, the time eater. Everything you think you know about the Greenland shark is wrong. New research from 2024 and 2026 reveals it wasn't just a slow, blind scavenger drifting through the Arctic abyss. For nearly 400 years, this creature has been swimming through our oceans, longer than the United States has existed, older than Isaac Newton's laws of gravity. With a body saturated in neurotoxins so potent that eating its flesh will make you hallucinate and convulse. And a genome so bizarre it has rewritten our understanding of aging itself. This is a biological machine that has hacked the code of mortality. We only discovered how long it lives because we had to use atomic bombs to measure it. The radioactive signature from Cold War nuclear tests became the timestamp locked inside its eyes, and those eyes, covered in parasites, blind to the world. In 1954, the United States detonated a thermonuclear weapon called Castle Bravo in the Marshall Islands. The explosion was so massive, it vaporized 3 islands and sent a mushroom cloud 24.85 miles into the stratosphere. The blast was 1,000 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Radioactive fallout circled the globe. Carbon-14, a radioactive isotope, was released into the atmosphere in quantities never seen before in human history. It settled into the oceans. It mixed with the water. It entered the food chain. Algae absorbed it. Shrimp ate the algae. Fish ate the shrimp. And eventually, this atomic signature became locked inside the body of a creature swimming in the darkness beneath Greenland's ice. How do you tell how old a fish is? For most species, you count growth rings in their ear bones, the otoliths, the same way you count rings in a tree trunk. But the Greenland shark is a ghost. Its skeleton is made entirely of cartilage, no hard bones, no obvious time marks. It leaves almost no trace of its passage through time. Then in 2016, a Danish marine biologist named Julius Nielsen had an idea. He realized that at the center of every vertebrate eye, including ours, there's a protein core in the lens that forms when we're still in the womb. This core never changes. It never metabolizes. It's sealed from birth, a biological black box. And if that protein core absorbed carbon-14 from the ocean during the shark's development, it would be locked there forever. Nielsen and his team collected eye lenses from 28 female Greenland sharks caught as bycatch by fishing vessels. They extracted the lens nuclei and measured the carbon-14 levels. Then they used the bomb pulse, that spike of radiation from the 1950s nuclear tests, as a calibration point on their timeline. The results shattered every assumption about vertebrate longevity. The largest female in the study, measuring just over 5 meters long, was estimated to be 392 years old, plus or minus 120 years. Even at the lowest estimate, she was 272 years old. At the highest, 512. This shark was potentially born in 1505. For centuries, everyone believed the Greenland shark was blind. It lives in near total darkness, between 656 and 6,562 feet deep, where sunlight is either a faint blue glow or completely absent. And if you've ever seen a photograph of a Greenland shark, you've probably noticed something disturbing hanging from its eyes. A pale, worm-like parasite dangling like a grotesque tassel from the cornea. The parasite is called Omatocoida elongata. It's a copepod, a type of crustacean, and it's found on the eyes of almost every adult Greenland shark ever examined. The assumption was simple. A creature living in the dark with worms eating its eyes must be blind. Scientists called it a swimming nose, relying entirely on smell to find rotting whale carcasses on the ocean floor. But in January 2026, everything changed. A team of researchers led by Krzysztof Palczewski and Dorota Skowronska-Krawczyk published a study that completely dismantled the blindness myth. They analyzed the eyes of Greenland sharks aged between 100 and 150 years old, juveniles in this species' timeline. The retinas were not only intact, they were beautifully preserved. There was no sign of degeneration, no cellular breakdown, no age-related damage, in a 150-year-old eye. The study revealed that the shark has a pure, rod-based retina. No cones for color vision, just rods, millions of them, optimized for detecting the faintest traces of light in the deep ocean. The shark's rhodopsin proteins, the light-sensitive molecules in the rods, are specifically tuned to blue wavelengths around 458 nanometers. That's the color of light that penetrates deepest into the ocean, and the color of most bioluminescence. But the most startling discovery was the mechanism of preservation. The researchers found that the shark has an upregulated system of DNA repair genes active specifically in the eye tissue. While our vision degrades, the Greenland shark actively maintains its visual system. It's running a continuous repair protocol that keeps the retina functional for centuries. The shark doesn't see images the way we do. It sees contrast. It detects the silhouette of a seal against the faint ice glow above. It spots the bioluminescent flash of prey in the abyss below. The 2026 study even observed sharks actively orienting their eyes toward light sources, tracking movement. So what about the parasite? The copepod does damage the central cornea, creating a cloudy blind spot, but the peripheral vision remains intact. The shark tolerates this intruder because the metabolic cost of fighting it off is higher than the cost of partial vision loss. It's a calculated biological compromise. The Greenland shark is not blind. It is a biological submarine periscope scanning for shadows in the eternal twilight, and it never stops working. How does something live for 400 years? Every multicellular organism on Earth is programmed to die. It's called the Hayflick limit. Our cells can only divide about 50 times before the telomeres, the protective caps on our chromosomes, become too short. Then the cell either stops dividing or dies. This is aging. This is why we get old. And there's another problem. It's called Petto's paradox. Large animals have more cells than small animals. Long-lived animals have more time for cells to divide. More cells plus more time equals more opportunities for mutations. More mutations mean more cancer. By every statistical model, a 400-year-old shark weighing over 1,000 kilograms should be a swimming tumor. It should be riddled with cancer, but it's not. In 2024, a team of scientists led by Steve Hoffman sequenced the Greenland shark's genome. The genome is massive, 6.5 billion base pairs. That's roughly double the size of the human genome. 70% of the Greenland shark's genome consists of transposable elements, jumping genes. In human biology, these are considered genomic parasites. They're selfish genetic sequences that copy and paste themselves randomly throughout the genome. When they jump, they can land in the middle of important genes, disrupting them, causing mutations, instability, and aging. A genome that's 70% parasitic DNA should be a disaster. It should be unstable, fragile, short-lived. But the Greenland shark has hijacked the parasites. The 2024 study proposes that the shark has co-opted the replication machinery of the transposable elements. Instead of letting them paste random junk into the genome, the shark's cellular environment directs them to copy specific functional genes. Specifically, genes involved in DNA repair, most notably the p53 tumor suppressor network, often called the guardian of the genome. This is why the Greenland shark exhibits negligible senescence. Its mortality rate does not increase with age. A 300-year-old shark is as biologically robust as a 50-year-old. The shark has turned the agents of aging into the fountain of youth. It's like a computer system that captures a virus and reprograms it to write antivirus software. This is not resisting aging. This is using aging to fuel immortality. But if the genome is the shark's hidden miracle, the parasite Omatocoita elongata is its visible nightmare. The female copepod is about 30 millimeters long, pinkish white, and it doesn't just cling to the surface of the eye, it integrates itself. The parasite has a specialized structure called a bulla. It's not a hook, it's an anchor. First, the copepod uses its mouthparts to rasp a hole in the shark's cornea, cutting through the transparent outer layer. Then, it inserts the bulla into the wound. The bulla expands or hardens, fusing with the shark's connective tissue. The parasite is now buttoned to the eye. It hangs from this anchor, swinging in the current like a grotesque ornament. The damage is severe. The presence of the bulla triggers chronic inflammation, keratitis. The cornea swells with fluid. In older sharks, the damaged tissue can calcify, turning sections of the eye into opaque stone. Imagine walking around with a 3-centimeter crustacean permanently fused to your eyeball for 200 years. The shark doesn't scratch, it doesn't rub, it simply endures. For years, a popular theory suggested the parasite was bioluminescent, acting as a lure to attract prey to the shark's mouth, like an anglerfish. It was a compelling narrative, the clever monster using its parasite as bait. But rigorous analysis debunked it. Omatocoita elongata does not produce light. Its pale color is reflective, not emissive. The relationship is purely parasitic. The shark tolerates the thief because rejecting it would cost more energy than living with it. How does the slowest fish in the ocean eat seals? The Greenland shark cruises at 0.34 meters per second. That's about 1.2 kilometers per hour, slower than a human walking. A seal, by contrast, can swim at 2 to 3 meters per second while cruising, and much faster in bursts. The math makes predation impossible. And yet, stomach content analysis frequently reveals fresh seal remains. So what's happening? The Greenland shark doesn't bite. It inhales. It uses a feeding strategy called inertial suction. The shark has a specialized buccal pump. Its jaws aren't just for cutting. They're the rim of a vacuum nozzle. The shark can expand its mouth and throat cavity massively and instantaneously. This creates a sudden negative pressure differential. Water rushes in to equalize the pressure, creating a high-velocity inflow jet. The effective range of this suction strike is about 25 to 35 centimeters, and it happens in less than 200 milliseconds. The shark doesn't need to chase the seal. It only needs to drift within 30 centimeters. Once the seal enters the event horizon of the suction field, escape is hydrodynamically impossible. The water the seal is swimming in is violently relocated into the shark's mouth. The seal is dragged in. The upper teeth, long and lance-like, grip the flesh. The lower teeth, broad and square, roll forward to slice out a massive chunk. But how does the shark get that close? It exploits the seal's behavior. Arctic seals often sleep in the water column, a behavior called logging, to avoid polar bears on the ice. The shark moves so slowly it generates almost no hydrodynamic noise, no pressure wave. The seal's lateral line, designed to detect approaching predators, registers nothing. The shark attacks from below, silhouetted against the dark abyss, while the seal is backlit by the surface. This is a patient, silent apex predator that has mastered the physics of ambush. To survive in water that hovers around -35.24 degrees Fahrenheit, the Greenland shark needs biological antifreeze. Its tissues are saturated with two compounds, urea and trimethylamine N-oxide, or TMAO. At extreme depths, hydrostatic pressure distorts protein structures. TMAO acts as a molecular chaperone, stabilizing proteins against crushing pressure and freezing temperatures. When a mammal eats Greenland shark meat, digestive enzymes break down TMAO into trimethylamine, or TMA. TMA is a potent neurotoxin. The resulting condition is called being shark drunk. Historical accounts from Arctic explorers describe the symptoms: stumbling, incoherent speech, hallucinations, explosive diarrhea, convulsions, respiratory distress. Sled dogs that ate raw shark meat became completely incapacitated. The Inuit people of Greenland recognized this danger and developed a solution: hakarl, fermented shark. To make the meat edible, it must be buried in gravel or placed in perforated containers for weeks to months. Bacteria ferment the tissue, breaking down the TMAO into ammonia. The ammonia evaporates, creating the signature smell of cleaning fluid and urine. Only then do toxin levels drop to survivable thresholds. It's a culinary paradox. The meat is poisonous when fresh, and safe only when rotten. The Greenland shark is a swimming chemical weapon. Even in death, it defends itself. The Greenland shark's skin is not smooth. Run your hand along its body from head to tail, and it feels like fine sandpaper. Stroke it the other way, from tail to head, and it's rough enough to cause abrasions, what handlers call shark burn. The skin is covered in millions of tiny structures called dermal denticles, their teeth. Each denticle has the same structure as a tooth, an enameloid coating, a dentine core, a pulp cavity. The shark is armored in microscopic teeth. But these denticles serve a purpose beyond protection. They're hydrodynamic control surfaces. Each denticle is shaped like a tiny riblet, channeling water flow along the body. This reduces drag and eliminates turbulence. For a creature that moves as slowly as the Greenland shark, energy conservation is everything. The heart. The Greenland shark's cardiovascular system operates at the absolute lower limit of vertebrate physiology. Its resting heart rate has been measured at 6 to 12 beats per minute. A single cardiac cycle, one complete contraction and relaxation, can take up to 10 seconds. Your heart beats 60 to 100 times per minute. The shark's beats 6 times. If the Greenland shark is so perfectly adapted, so biologically advanced, why is it listed as near threatened? For centuries, humans hunted Greenland sharks, not for their meat, which is toxic, but for their livers. A Greenland shark's liver can account for up to 25% of its total body weight. It's enormous, packed with oil. In the 18th and 19th centuries, before petroleum was discovered, Europe's street lamps were powered by shark liver oil. Greenland sharks were slaughtered by the tens of thousands every year. Ships would hunt them in the Arctic, extract the livers, and dump the carcasses back into the sea. Because the Greenland shark lives so slowly, it reaches sexual maturity incredibly late. A female doesn't become capable of reproduction until she's approximately 150 years old. There's another threat: climate change. The Greenland shark is adapted to cold water. As the Arctic warms, their habitat is shrinking. Warmer water holds less oxygen. It disrupts the food chain. Seals and fish populations shift. The deep cold refuges the shark depends on are changing. We don't yet know how flexible the Greenland shark's temperature tolerance is. Some research suggests they can handle a range of temperatures, but rapid change is different from gradual adaptation. The Greenland shark survived the Ice Age. It survived millions of years of environmental change, but it may not survive us. A creature that was also exploited and often referred to as liquid gold during the Industrial Revolution is the sperm whale. You'll definitely want to learn more about it, and I've placed it at the top corner of the screen. Let me tell you about a myth. In Inuit culture, the Greenland shark is known as Skalugsuaq. The origin story is both visceral and revealing. According to legend, an old woman was washing her hair in urine, a traditional method for killing lice. A gust of wind blew the urine-soaked cloth into the sea. The cloth transformed into Skalugsuaq, the first Greenland shark. The Inuit recognized the smell of the shark's flesh, that overwhelming ammonia and urea odor, and encoded that chemical reality into their mythology. The shark lives in the urine pot of Sedna, the sea goddess. It's a creature born of waste and toxicity. The myth acknowledges what the Inuit learned through experience. This animal is dangerous to eat. Its body is saturated with poison. Respect it. Fear it. Don't consume it unless you know how to neutralize the toxin. The Greenland shark has survived for millions of years. It survived ice ages. It survived warming periods. It survived the rise and fall of countless other species. But it may not survive the next 100 years of human activity. And if it disappears, we'll lose more than just a species. We'll lose a living library. A biological archive of deep time. A creature that holds secrets about aging, DNA repair, sensory adaptation, and survival in extreme environments. Secrets that could change medicine, could change how we understand life itself. The Greenland shark beat time. It hacked mortality. It became something other. And now it's up to us to decide whether we'll let it continue, or whether we'll erase it before we ever truly understood what it was. If you found this in-depth analysis of the Greenland shark interesting, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next video, where we'll explore other predators, get curious about other prehistoric sea creatures that are still around, and ask whether any of them might still be hiding deep on the ocean floor. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think we'll discover even older individuals? I read every comment and I really love hearing your thoughts. And you'll definitely enjoy our other video about terrifying encounters with giant squid. You can find the link in the description below or in the on-screen card you're seeing right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.